Well, the Liberals just don't get it, do they? A home is at the core of a person's life, of families and of communities. Without a home, and we hear this frequently when you talk to people, when you meet people in community, it is so difficult to piece everything else in a person's life together if they don't have a home. Whether it's people's health, their ability to commit to a job, to get trained in the skills they need, to go into future employment, to get kids to school. Without a home, it is so hard to piece all of that together. And these reforms that the Liberals oppose and say that they will repeal are a key part of the Labor government's work in our housing statement. If the Liberals need any evidence as to why this is needed and to why this is a good reform, they can look at rental yields at record highs in Victoria. Acting President, this reform likely benefits nowhere more than the Mornington Peninsula in my electorate. The Mornington Peninsula has one of the highest concentrations of short stays operating of any local government anywhere in Australia. We need aged care workers. We need childcare workers. We need workers in our health care systems. We need to ensure that they have homes so they can care for their local communities. We need teachers in our schools. We need construction workers in the work we're doing to build more homes, hospitality workers, particularly on the peninsula. Our businesses are screaming out for workers and they want and need them locally within community to service the communities that need all this support. And this reform will deliver exactly that for the peninsula. It is such a hot issue, the number of short stays that are on the peninsula. If we're talking 50,000 homes across Victoria that are being used for short stay, there is a massive percentage of these on the peninsula, and it will make a real difference in people's lives. When we can house, whether it's individuals or families, to enable them to a ground base, somewhere for their entire home, for their entire life to flourish from. It not only benefits that person, but it benefits others looking for homes, because every time someone is able to find a home, it frees up down the line. And the investment we're making, whether it's the $5 billion in the big build, the supports to services, the various pieces of work we're doing through the housing statement to ensure there is the housing that Victorians need, so that everyone can have a place they call home. This is a really important part, and I just wanted to really touch on how important it is for the Mornington Peninsula, particularly when we see documentaries like The Ranch, when we hear about people needing to be hopping between people's friends' homes or living out of their cars, or the worst one of the, basically at the point where they're living in tents, and we've seen that through the Ranch documentary. And the community on the peninsula are really aware of this. 400 people turned out on a cold Tuesday night at the Rosebud Cinema to watch that documentary and learn and understand more about what position people are in. When we can free these homes up, it's getting people out of that situation. When one person, one family is able to move into a home and the place they are in frees up, it gets everyone into another level of housing. So I think this is incredibly important. I know that that so many of my constituents across Eastern Victoria passionately support this. I've had conversations, I've had meetings, I've had many letters. I won't name people individually, but lots of letters about it. And I think it's just a really important reform, and one that I'm glad to stand here and support today. So thank you, Acting President.